and welcome into Getting Help from Uncle Sam. It's that time of the year when all the legislatures are about ready to go back into session. In the state of Alabama, we're looking at the March time period. But to give you a little primer on it, I brought in Reid Ingram, and you're in the House of Representatives, District 75.
District 75, represent Montgomery and Elmore County.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
A little piece of Elmore County.
That's right.
I always got a kick. One day I went to vote, and I came out of the voting booth, and I said, hey, Mike Holmes is not on my ballot anymore. And that's when everything got realigned.
Right, that's right.
The people across the street had him, and then you became our representative. And you do a great job, by the way. We always make sure we try to see what our representatives are doing.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you. Yeah, Elmore County has grown so much.
Oh, my goodness.
And that's a lot of people that had left Montgomery and going over there. So that had to rechange.
Yeah.
You know, we had to narrow it down a little bit.
You got to work it out so you can take care of everybody that needs the help.
Right. Yes, sir.
So the next session starts at the beginning of March, right?
It does. If we don't have a special before, we
right,
got this
and
Harper
that's the
money.
question. Do you think there would be a chance there'd be a special session?
I think there's a chance, just because of this Harper money, the COVID money, relief money coming down that we've got, that we've got to be able to, sort it out and see what we're going to do with it without holding up bills and hostage. That's what the governor did last time, because she didn't want it to get all mangled and changed, and so there's a lot of drama when that money comes out, and it'd be nice to be able to get that done and get it done right before we go into it.
And then basically you've got to commit for how it's going to be used by a certain date, and then it can be used going into 2024.
We've got to use it before December of 26.
26,
That's right. It's got to be spent, and then we've got to, turn all the stuff back in to make sure that it was done right.
And that's on top of the fact that basically right now, the state has been doing well with revenue generation.
We have, with the taxes being up, sales tax, even the online tax has gone up a lot, and so both budgets, our education budget and general fund budget, has been doing well since COVID.
Thank God for the online.
That's right.
Because so many things are happening from an online perspective.
I know it. I know a lot of people don't want to go out and shop anymore. It's getting better though.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
We need to shop local.
Yep, absolutely. I'm a big believer in that.
Yes, sir.
So basically, as we're looking at the session coming up, what would be some of the priorities that are out there?
I think that with so many freshmen coming in, Jack, we've got so many different personalities. Yeah. We've got 1/3 of our whole body, which is the biggest body I've ever known since I've ever been in politics. I think there's going to be a lot of different personalities until they settle down, and a lot of them come in with these big ideas, and I think we'll have more bills dropped this year than we've seen in a long time, maybe in history. There may be 500 or 600 bills dropped just in the House itself.
Oh my goodness!
And so there's going to be a lot of drama to start out with. It always is when you got a new quadrennium, and so I think that a lot of times it may be better to kill bills and to stop bad bills than it is to pass bills. I think that we've got too much government. I'm real conservative, and a lot of things we don't need. Just more government oversight on stuff that are more government, period, and that's not always good.
Yeah, and and you talked about the fact that bills will be introduced. If 500 bills come in there, first and foremost, this is not your full-time job.
That's right. Well,
it's kind of a part-time, unlike the U.S. where it's their full-time job.
Right.
Yeah.
I take it as a full-time job when we're
Well, I know you work it. You work it hard because we've followed you over the time. But at the same time, what would say they just talked about that omnibus spending bill on the national level being 4,000 some odd pages. You can't read 4,000 some odd pages.
Especially just in a few days after it's written and you want to pass it. That's exactly right. I chair a committee. I chair county municipal, and we probably pass less bills than we may have 75 or 100 bills just come in that committee sometimes, and we probably pass less than 50% because they're just not good bills. And plus, I want the members of my committee to be able to understand them and know what the consequences are, how it's going to affect that municipality or county. And if they need 2 weeks or if they need a month to read it, then so be it. We'll put it on the back burner. But I think the biggest thing is coming up would probably be gambling, the lottery
Right,
probably
right.
again. One of the things that I'm against would be the smoking marijuana. I was against the medical marijuana.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough. I
Yeah.
mean, that you're opening up a can of worms
Right.
there.
Well, even when we passed the CDB
Right.
oil, and and the fibers to make clothes and stuff
Right.
like that. Well, now they're taking that with very little THC that was a minimum, and compounding it, and they're selling gummies in some of these, convenience stores, and that's called a Delta 8, and now they've got a Delta 9. And there was a young man took three of them, and ended up in the emergency room.
Yep.
I mean, it's bad. So that's the kind of things that have bad consequences. I voted against all of that.
Okay, I'm going to get you to come back next week because I'm going to get in a couple of other different forms. Remember, it's Reid Ingram. He's District 75, is in U.S. House of Representatives. The best time to talk to your representatives are when they're not in session. And we'll be right back right after this.